Hey, Linked Outies. Welcome back for part 2 of Ben Palmer's interview. And if you're just joining us now, we're in the middle of an interview with Ben Palmer, who we call a social justice troll, but he's better known as a comedian. At Palmer Trolls, we are talking to him about all of the ways in which he is out here fighting the good fight online and IRL and making people laugh while he does it. So enjoy part 2 of our interview with Ben Palmer.
Welcome to Linked Out. Welcome to Linked Out, the podcast that won't help you get a job, but will make you feel better about not having one.
All right, let's get back into your stuff a little bit more again. What?
She's a real hard ass.
I am a hard ass. No. I'm like Sally, Jesse, Raphael.
You're like, we're getting off track here.
No, we just have so many good questions. And honestly, like, you know, I think there's so much that there's so many different ways we could go. It's hard to like choose a lane. But what's a project that there's two ways, I guess, to go with this. One that you think had the most impact and one that you like had the most fun doing. And maybe they're the same thing, but.
Most impact. I don't know. I mean, I do get people who tell me sometimes that they didn't sign up for the MLM because they saw my video on it. So maybe that's something.
Yeah, that's definitely something.
The most fun. The most fun is always, for me, it's always the latest thing that I've done. Because, like, you know, I do my material, I do it at the shows, and I love when people laugh, and it becomes new again when I do it in the moment. But then I'm like, what's next? What's next? Most fun's always the latest thing I'm doing that brings me joy. Like, I don't know, lately I've been messing around in, like, the neighborhood groups on Facebook where I don't live and just kind of fucking around in there.
There's so much good stuff happening in Nextdoor. I've seen that you're on Nextdoor now. I got off of, I like deleted Facebook and stuff, but I used to use Marketplace a lot to find stuff. So I was like, okay, I'll get on Nextdoor. Oh my God, what the fuck is going on Nextdoor? It's crazy. I was like, this is a different part of the internet. Like, There was somebody who was like, hey, anybody want Frenchie puppies? They're $1,500. Some guy at the gas station had them, but they look like they had worms. And it was like a serious post. I was like, you're asking people if they want to spend $1,500 on worm-infested gas station puppies? Like, what is happening on Nextdoor?
Yeah.
I imagine there's lots of, low-hanging fruit, I guess.
Animal trafficking.
Animal trafficking.
Lots of animal trafficking.
Well, unfortunately, there is a lot of that. That actually is kind of sad. People are
There is a lot. Yeah, it's a lot of serious. I've noticed there's a lot of serious stuff on the neighborhoods. Like, I found this dog, or a lot of it's just like, who knows a good electrician, you know, shit like that. But like, I try to, you know, do a little research on the places and then see if I could do something with that, you know, like storylines that are happening in the community. There was one recent, it was like in Mobile, Alabama, they opened like a Dave and Buster's.
Oh.
And everyone was really excited about it. And then someone posted in there. Someone posted and said, "Is Dave and Buster's open yet?" And then people were like, "Yeah, it's been open for weeks, you know." So then I waited a couple weeks and then posted with my profile and was like, "Is David Buster's open yet?" and then just like waited another 2 weeks and it was like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how sure are we that Dave and Buster's is open? And people were just like losing their minds. And then I made like a fake headline that says Dave and Buster's to open second location. Breaking news, you guys.
Oh my God, you're getting these poor Mobile Alabamians
all worked up over a second Dave and Buster's location.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, good, because the first one is terrible service."
Oh my God, yeah. And no one can figure out if it's open.
Not the bad service at Dave and Buster's.
That one's open? Yeah. They're like, yeah, the guy's like, so maybe I should just, you know, if I don't like this Dave & Buster's, I'll just go to the other Dave & Buster's. And I was like, yeah, I think that's why they opened the second location.
Amazing.
Give them the address.
Yeah.
Or like when it was snowing in one town, people were complaining about it. I made up like a thing that city council like approved something to take tax dollars from people to like paint lines over the snow, and people were like furious about it.
Oh
They're
my
like,
God.
this is a waste of resources.
That is upsetting.
What happens when the snow melts? You know, like
Got to paint them again.
yeah.
Just under the snow and over the snow.
We'll figure it out.
That's pretty funny. Did you ever? This is like a weird question. That I didn't write down, but I just thought of this. I remember when you were visiting us in LA, like I don't know how long ago that was. You were talking about like medieval times. You're talking about like doing like a medieval, like a play next door to medieval times. Did you ever? Did you ever do anything with that?
I never did that.
Okay.
But I went to their picket line with them, and like it was me and like the medieval times striking actors, and then like they were right there by the entrance, and it got kind of chippy. Like some people would like refund their tickets and leave, and we'd like all applaud them, like yay, thanks. And then other people would be like, fuck you, I want to see the show, you know, like being like assholes. And then like the scabs, you know, they're like the people.
Brittany's a scab.
Are you really?
Famously.
No, I was a scab.
Famously.
I was a scab when I was like 18 years old at Disneyland.
She was a Snow White scab.
I was a Snow White scab.
You replaced a striking Snow White?
Yeah.
Wow.
For like,
undermining the movement.
For like $25 an hour. And I was like, oh my God, I'm making so much money.
Yeah. You're like, sorry guys, they're paying me good.
But then I got fired for a kid like seeing me smoke a cigarette. So it was fine.
Snow White smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
That
and it was
child-
like, everyone used to smoke behind Toontown. And so like the kid just like went AWOL and like ran where everybody was smoking. And he was like, Snow White smokes. And then his mom fucking freaked out, talked to the manager. They were like, you're a scab, you're fired. I was like, okay.
Snow White's got a lot to deal with. She's got like 7 different dwarves. That
she lives with a bunch of weird little guys.
Yeah, they're grumpy, you know. Like, come on.
She keeps passing out.
She can't have a smoke break.
Snow White can't smoke a cig.
Excuse me. And then so I had to cross the picket line back out of there, and then I joined them. So
then you joined?
Yeah.
Now you can really smoke a cigarette.
Now I can really smoke a cigarette.
In costume.
That's hilarious.
I was like, I'm keeping this dress.
Yeah. Yeah, we would see like the scab knights walk by, and it was like weird energy. We're like, boo. But
I mean, it's fucked up. So wait, were you, because I know that medieval times like had a lot of problems. Like it was like they weren't paying their employees. They're also really mean to animals. Like which pick a thing. Like which were you?
It was like,
were they mad about both of the? Were the strikers mad about like all of the medieval times problems, or just the union busting?
all of them. Yeah, that too. All of them as a whole, like the horse like mistreatment, and then like people falling off the horses, getting injured, and like having back surgery and shit, not having good benefits, or not getting paid much. Not getting paid to do like stunts and stuff, you know, they're making like $14 an hour to do some javelin stunt or whatever. But yeah, I wanted to do, and then the actual company, like the CEO of that company was just, they're very immature. Like I would hear about like the petty battles that they would have with each other, because they were always like, the CEO was always like in the little office inside the medieval times building, you know, so he's like looking out the window,
just like eating a big hunk of chicken with his hands.
Yeah. Eating a chicken leg, smashing some popcorn, sipping Coke through a straw.
Gross.
But yeah,
slapping a horse.
Like a show where we would like steal their customers, thinking that they were actually going to like the medieval times show.
Yeah.
But then it was just a show about how bad it is working at medieval times.
I love that.
I love that too.
Such a good idea.
Yeah. I think they ended their strike a little while back, and you know, it was like tough to kind of like once again like put on a full-on production. You know, not living in the area too doesn't help, but that would have been a fun thing to do. Maybe we'll bring that back too.
Yeah, I'm sure medieval times will fuck up again.
Yeah, count on it. It's just a matter of time, I'm sure.
I mean, I always notice like sometimes I get like a sponsored ad like scrolled on my TikTok for medieval times, and the comments are always off. So they must be doing something fucked up. Otherwise they would have their comments on.
Oh, I still have their username. They when the strike was happening, their TikTok username, they were getting so many negative comments, so they changed it. They're like, but they left the old one available, so then I got it.
Amazing.
Idiots.
Wow.
And then I started making like my own Medieval Times commercials, like voiceover the actual commercial.
That's so funny.
If you want to get paid $12 an hour to fall off a horse.
I'm going to get paid $12 an hour. Also, we don't pay for your surgery.
Like these two knights are battling over who's going to sleep on the couch tonight.
This one gets to sleep in the barn. Oh my gosh, that's sad. Poor everyone that works there and
Shout out to the Medieval Times
that worked there.
Yeah. If you know anybody that works at Medieval Times and wants to come on the podcast, let us know.
We'll disguise their voice.
We have questions.
We have questions.
I'm sure they put it all out there.
Okay, so since you mentioned that you're probably like the most impactful thing is that you've made it harder or maybe stopped somebody who was accidentally going to sign up for an MLM not get involved. Okay, so something we see a lot in our like job search is companies like asking for candidates for free work and like probably using it.
Like they ask us to take copy tests a lot.
Brit's been asked to like write
so many
full,
times,
like emails
full briefs
and stuff. Yeah.
And at first when I was looking, I like wouldn't do it because I was like, I don't work for free. But then as like months passed, I was like getting desperate for work. So I was just like, I'll take the fucking copy test. And then I think that they are like using my work because sometimes I'll like look on their website or like sign up for their email list. And then I'm like, I feel like I wrote this.
The question is, what the fuck? But also, what would do you have off the top? I know you're hearing this question live, but what would you do to like fuck with those companies that are like getting free work, stealing work from candidates? Like, what can you do as someone who's looking for a job to like, prevent that from
this
happening?
before you get the job, they're like, do this for us.
Yeah, like as a part of the interview process, they'll be
I
like,
would love to find out who's doing that so I can sign up, so I can get an interview.
Okay, great. Well, we'll send
I'll
them
send
to
you.
you.
I have a list. I'll send them all to
Really?
you. Yeah, I do.
There's no shortage of this happening too, and since you have sort of you have a design team, it definitely happens to designers a lot. Like they ask for like examples of like how would you make a logo for this or whatever the case, whatever the thing is, and people do it because people are desperate for work. And they don't want to say no, but it sucks because companies are definitely just stealing people's work. And
so then once they get it, they use it.
They'll, because I know
and then the person doesn't even get a job.
I know this one specific company that I've applied to like more than once.
Yes.
And
this one you definitely need to tell them
change
about.
the prompt every time they put out a new application. So they'll blast copywriter jobs and they'll change the prompt every time. And it's like, oh, this is the writing you need for this week. And like hundreds of people will apply and then they'll just pick the copy out that they want to use. And then they never need to hire anybody.
That's messed up.
And so it's really messed up. And lots of people are like doing that nowadays because they people are increasingly more concerned about their bottom line and they just want to fucking have more points for shareholders instead of like paying our like not even that expensive salary to like have somebody on staff.
Just enough to live.
But yeah, so like that happens all the time and people on like this is like we go on LinkedIn all the time and we see people complaining about it. They're like, oh my gosh, like I knew I shouldn't have taken this copy test, but then I did. And then I saw them, like they used like a line that was like suspiciously similar to like my writing in their last ad. And it's like, you can't really technically, like you can't really prove it. So it's kind of,
please send me these because I could also email them as a reporter and just make up quotes and then get them waste their time.
Oh my
that
gosh,
way.
yes! Put some fake reporter pressure on them. That'll make them sweat. I love that. No, we're gonna send you. We're gonna gather some.
Well, yeah, we'll do some recon and send it over.
We're gonna gather some companies to send you to.
Yeah,
I'm looking
I
at
know
New
you're
York
busy
Daily Times.
guy. I know you got a lot of stuff cooking. But
Not too busy for a scheme.
Yeah, new stuff. I'm like currently looking for new stuff to do.
He's looking for new projects.
Okay, well
New
then
projects,
let's ask if
always.
any of our listeners have any ideas for things they'd love to see Ben do. Please send them to us, or just send them to Ben too. You can message.
If you have any information, research, stuff like that, send it on to the linked out pod email, and we'll get it. We'll get it over to Ben.
LinkedIn post that you said you saw where someone send me that too. I would like to look into that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because like we just
now you're on the team.
Hey, you got a team. Yeah. Well,
we're glad to be here.
We both don't have jobs, so we have plenty of time for this.
Right.
So
that's one of the key factors I look for in joining my team.
Yeah, we don't have
not already employed.
Not having a job that you can get fired from is crucial.
It's hey. I don't know. You knew because like I know you. I think you knew this, but I got fired when I told my job I was pregnant, and I still haven't found a job yet. So
wow.
That was like, I mean, like almost 2 years ago. And I've been looking. So like I have a shit list of companies that have sent me on like 6, 7 interviews, like long ass interviews, waited like months and months to like get back to me. Companies I have suspicions take my work, companies that I have like screenshots of something that looks exactly, that kind of stuff. Yeah. But so
Brittany
building a dossier.
She's got a lot of time and she's got even more spite. So imagine
more spite than I have time. It's crazy.
So imagine how much that is.
I would just say, whatever you can, don't United CEO anybody. It feels like you're like one missed email away from. You're like, this is it.
We're not. We're not Luigi. We're not Luigi. We're just moms. We're just a couple of moms.
There was a CEO. There is actually like my most recent.
She's like,
CEO. Actually, I got an offer letter from a job like last week, and then I got the offer letter pulled the day before I was supposed to start because the CEO came back from vacation and was like, "Oh, I think we should put a pause on hiring." And Clark had like quit his second job, and I got childcare, and like it was a whole thing. So that guy I would murder. No, say it on the pot. No, I'm kidding. Allegedly, I'm just kidding.
It's parody law. It's parody.
Parody. Murder is protected under parody.
Perfect.
Sure.
Wait, because you are kind of a First Amendment expert, though, right? A little bit. Self-taught.
That's also how I introduce
myself. That's also how he introduces himself.
Hi, I'm Ben. I'm a social justice warrior.
Does that work at the...
I'm a First Amendment expert, and I have 3 cats.
Is that on your Hinge bio?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you do you have dating app profiles, and like, are they real?
Do you ever make fake dating profiles? Because lots of people do.
I feel like that. I don't know.
It's played out.
It's oversaturated.
Played out. Yeah, it's played out.
That's just something that the general public does. So
yeah, that's true. Anybody could do that.
To fuck with those actual, like the match group though. That would be fun to fuck with them because they just turned the dating apps into just monetization machines. It's so annoying. It's like, hey, you want to see who likes you?
Oh yeah.
Give us $25 a month, and then you're like, okay, I'll do it, and it's like.
That's how LinkedIn works.
Geraldine likes you. She's 62. She got 3 teeth. She lives in Kentucky.
She could be the one.
Yeah, LinkedIn does that too. They're like, do you want to see who looked at your profile? They're like, 3 of them don't have jobs, but like they might.
Just pay $30 a month, and you can.
They're like, try premium for free. You're like, I won't.
These sexy unemployed men want to go on a date with you. Give us $50 a month.
Give us $50 a month to find out who.
Find out who you're going to pay for their dinner.
Wait, I kind of want you to, well, I don't know. We'll talk about this offline. I have some ideas for LinkedIn troll ideas.
Okay.
Why don't you want to talk about it online?
I don't want anybody to steal my ideas.
Okay, fair. That's fair.
It's like kill the LinkedIn CEO. That's what.
Actually, that guy's not as bad as the rest of them, but
he's
cool.
He can live.
Guy. Yeah.
There's some good CEOs out there.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know about that. I don't know if good. Maybe there's some not as bad.
Not as bad.
Maybe.
Not as bad.
I think good is like a strong word for a CEO. I feel like.
Do your feelings, your personal feelings, ever get in the way of a caper?
My personal feelings.
I know.
I try not to do anything personal that's like about me or like something I go through, because I feel like people don't care as much about that. They want stuff that they care about.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that answers the question, but
No,
I
I think the question
Like,
is
have you
more
ever,
like,
okay, like, have you ever like fallen in love with like the catfish? You know what I mean?
yeah.
The
Have
target.
you ever caught
Have you ever
feelings?
caught feelings for the target?
no, but this sounds like you said, the
Part of your
the
rom-com.
romantic-
Never
the
been
romantic
sued.
Movie. It actually sounds never been sued.
And you're going to get sued by the lawyer and then you fall in love with her.
Yes, yes.
Oh, she's
And you have-
insufferable. She's just, you just hate
Honestly.
everything about her. Or do you love her?
Yeah.
I start off hating her for sure. We hate each other, and then, oh, that sounds awesome. Actually, I want that to happen.
That would
Okay.
happen.
Write that script. We'll help you.
She's
with
like,
that.
actually, I love you.
I did. I can think of something now. Well, I've messed with Joel Osteen before, the megachurch pastor guy.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
That guy's a
the
real
first one,
piece of
I've
work.
been doing him for years. Yeah, the first one was like a fake Facebook account responding to someone saying that he's going to charge money for prayer requests, and that people shared that, and then Joel Osteen's Twitter had to be like, "This isn't real. This is fake."
Wow.
That's
but
so
then
funny.
A few years later, I was messing with him some more, and I got on the phone with like his publicist person, and like I sent fake quotes to her and pretended to be a reporter. So then she was like, "I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. Thank you so much. You've been so helpful." You know, and she's like, and I'm just kind of stringing her along, and she's like, "But you're just so sweet, and I want to thank you so much for your, thank you for letting us know about this." And I'm like, oh, I feel kind of
Yeah.
bad.
Oh my God.
That's
I kinda
that's the
just-
question. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of just was like, all right, well, I'm out. But it was funny though, because like I questioned her on things like when they had a flood, they had Hurricane Harvey, and like their Joel Osteen's church kept its doors closed. She was like, oh, you know what happened there? Those people, they went to the wrong door. That was the issue. I was like, what?
So she's being gaslit too.
She's being gaslit too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's like, Joel, he's so sweet. He just wants to feed his family. That's what she said.
Wow. That's what happens when you end up in a
Because like
mega
how
church,
he just wants
obviously.
to feed his family. Like how much money does that guy have? Like he
He's
just
like,
wants to feed
"My
his family
family."
sticks of gold.
Yeah, and he just wants to own a congressman or two.
Yeah. It's like, that was the issue. He wants to feed just his family. Nobody else.
Nobody else's family. Only
Also,
his
yeah,
family.
interesting. Yeah.
He just wants to get that mansion.
Yeah. So that's like times like that, and then like the person is like, I feel like they're kind of trapped in the, they're kind of almost like a victim too. So, think about that. A
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Still
Do you
waiting
think
to fall
the
in
people?
love.
Do you think the people that run the pyramid schemes are
Victims?
victims at all, or are they? Do they know exactly what they're doing?
The people
At the
who are running them are not victims.
No.
Well, the
But,
people that are like
people who
holding
falling
these,
for them.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The people that are
obviously.
pushing them. I don't mess with those. I used to, but like I found out, yeah, they're just kind of brainwashed. And so those aren't really people to mess with.
Right.
The people that are making millions of dollars doing absolutely nothing while thousands of other people are busting their ass, being told they're not good enough, they're not working hard enough, they're not believing in themselves and making nothing and losing money and investing in something that's never going to get them money. It's like mathematically impossible sometimes.
Yeah, like preying on like the desperation of people to work.
Yeah. People that are like, I want that second job. I'm tired of this 9 to 5. That was one quote I sent to Herbalife. It was like, are you tired of being in the 9 to 5 trap? He was like, well, come work 9. Oh, I'm forgetting it. 9 to 5 hours or 95. No, you'll be part of it. Something like that.
5 hours.
Oh my God, Herbalife.
You'll make between $9 and $5 with, something like that.
Yeah, 9 to 5, 95 hours for $95.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Oh my God, Herbalife. Everybody.
doTERRA. I always talk about that one, and Brittany's like, who?
I don't know.
Essential oils. Essential oils is big in the MLMs.
I don't know.
I talked to their CEO once, and I made the mistake of I kept calling it doTERRA because I was just reading it. He was like, "It's doTERRA."
You're like, it's a made up word, so it's actually doTERRA.
Yeah. So how long have you been working for doTERRA? And eventually he was like, "I'm getting off the call."
They're like, this is a prank. Are you pranking me? This is a prank
Is this
call.
a prank call?
Wait, okay. Did you do a lot of prank calls as a teenager? Did your love of pranking start from
My friends and I used to, like we used to call people and like tell them that we were high school students, and we'd be like, we have a project and we need to answer some questions for our survey for our project, and then they'd be like, okay, and then we just ask them the dumbest questions, like the stupidest fucking questions.
That's funny.
And we thought it was so funny. Like one of them was like, "Why is water so wet?" Like that was one of the questions.
Okay, that's my toddler asked me questions like that legitimately.
Actually, it's a dumb, smart question.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody could really
He's
answer
3.
it. No one,
Why is
no one
water?
would do it.
It's
One
okay.
guy was like, "Because like the moisture." We're like, "Yep." We did that.
Because it's water.
And then back in the day, it was when like AOL Instant Messenger was like the most popular. That was like chat rooms.
Yes.
You know?
Oh my
yeah.
God. That like everybody was pretending to be somebody else in chat rooms.
Mhm.
Like 12-year-old me was definitely like 26, live in New York,
Yeah.
you know, like
Age, sex, location.
Exactly.
ASL check.
um
And we get punters because there was like the cool like punter hacker programs where you can kick your friends off. We would do that. So we'd
didn't
like
even
wait
know
till
about
our
that.
friend from high school and we'd punt him and watch his account just disappear. Like, oh, he's not online anymore. That'd be really fun. And then they had like warnings. So like if you're messaging somebody and you didn't like what they were saying, you could click the warn button.
I remember
and it'd be
that.
like- it'd be like, you've been warned. You're not 10%. And
yes,
if you weren't,
I had a friend that did this to me a lot in high
Oh,
school.
you shouldn't have been saying such ratchet shit.
No, he was just fucking with me. And
there's the best feature.
Yeah.
And then if you warn somebody and get them up to 100%,
They
then
get
they
kicked
can't
off.
they can't message anymore.
yeah.
But like with one profile, you could only warn someone up to like 30%. So then we would pretend to be like a girl and be like, "Hey, where are you from?" And then get into like more of a conversation and be like, "Warn."
I bet you
This
made
is your origin story.
I was gonna say, I bet you made so many fake instant messenger handles back in the day.
You're
We
like,
had our cool little nickname. We want to be hackers, you know. So it was like, I'm like Scar. That was my name.
Scar.
Like Scar, where I got the K. I was like, yeah.
I'm going to spell it with a K.
Yeah.
Nice.
Since you brought up I guess I brought it up. Well, since we were talking about your
Since you won't stop talking about
childhood.
AOL Instant Messenger.
No.
I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
Okay, this is a loaded question. Are your parents proud of you?
Well, now that I'm like, you know, I can say that I do it for a living.
Yeah.
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 But in the beginning, they're like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" They're like, "This doesn't sound like a good idea."
How do
know?
you explain this to your
Yeah.
parents?
How do you explain it to them?
I mean, I was too scared to even tell them in the beginning. They found out through somebody else. They were like, "We heard you did stand-up comedy." I was like, "Oh,
Oh my God, that's how
damn
it
it, who told you?" Yeah. Like my friend saw him at a restaurant. I was like, "Hey, have you been to any of Ben's shows yet?" And they're like, "What? What are you talking about?"
They were
Oh
like,
my
Ben,
God.
our son, Ben.
Yeah.
Not our
It's
Ben.
like-
They were like, no, because he works at Joanne's customer service.
Yeah. They're like, "No, he has a steady job with Joanne."
Must be the wrong
Mom,
Ben.
I haven't worked there for a long time.
Yeah.
I
But
was
no, I was
scared
just like
to tell you.
embarrassed to tell him because like I was never like I was like funny, but I was never like, and I never told him I wanted to do that. And I, you know, I was never like, "Oh, Ben's such a knee slapper, cracking jokes." So I didn't want them to shoot me down, you know. So I didn't want to tell them. So
Look who's laughing now.
look who's laughing now.
Laughing all the way to the bank.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, but now, you know, so they got over it, and you know now they're like it, and I'll tell them some of the bits I do, and you know they get a kick out of it.
Have they been to your shows?
It's been a while, I think.
Well, shout out your next. What's coming next for you? What's your next show? And tour or just
I'm
in
doing
Nashville?
I'm doing a monthly in Nashville.
Nice.
Next one's April 5th.
Where?
Saturday, April 5th at Taylor, 100 Taylor. It's like this art studio venue. Pretty nice little space. And let's see, I'm going to LA and doing a set at the Belly Room like March 29th.
Nice.
And yeah, doing a couple colleges, but those are like kind of like private events. I don't have to promote. I just show up and the students are all there.
Awesome. Well, Ben,
Nice.
that I'm gonna say that's pretty much all my questions, and we've really enjoyed talking to you today.
Yeah.
And obviously, everybody follow Ben at Ben Palmer, right, on TikTok.
Not that he needs it.
No,
Palmer Troll. Yeah, I don't need any more. No.
Oh, Ben, sorry,
Actually-
Palmer Trolls. Sorry, I'm sorry, at Palmer Trolls.
Palmer Trolls.
I need
I've
that.
actually closed my
He's
following.
closed his following.
I'm not
If you
accepting
haven't
it.
already followed, it's too late. Sorry.
It's too late. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Submissions are closed.
You should have liked me in the beginning. You know?
Hey, if you weren't here,
If you weren't fucking with him in AIM days, then
Yeah.
no, we really, really enjoyed this conversation. Yeah, we're, just excited to see what's next for you and keep on fighting the good fight.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me. I enjoyed this conversation too. And I feel like I have more inspiration now because I'm like, it's always fun to talk about the stuff you do. And then like, you got this, these companies, this manifesto you're going to send me.
Yes. Yeah, I'm going to send it. Yeah, well, we don't have to call it that. It's just an email I've been compiling for the past 2 years. It doesn't, whatever.
It's going to be like 300 pages. I'm like, Brittany, I can't.
I'm actually, I don't want to send it via email. I'm going to send you a carrier
We're going to
pigeon.
bring it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna snail mail it to you.
There's just going to be a knock on my door. There's going to be a file left at the
Yeah,
the
someone's
front door.
going to
A stack.
I'm going to see a man walking away in a suit.
That is how I prefer to send people things. So I'll get it over there.
Well, yeah, thanks so much.
But
for
yeah,
having me.
thank
This
you,
was a
Ben.
great time.
We really love what you're doing, and we love you. And thanks for jumping on. And yeah,
We hope
what
to
she
see
said.
you down in Atlanta sometime soon,
Absolutely.
maybe here at the studio or, just around.
Yeah, let's do a show down there.
Awesome.
And if you ever want to throw around ideas, we're always here.
we're unemployed. as you know,
Literally,
so.
we're always here.
You're on the crew now.
We're on the
All right, thanks, y'all.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's podcast, please give us a 5-star review. Email us at linkedoutpod@gmail.com and follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and Blue Sky at linkedoutpod. Your support means everything, and we fucking love you. Mwah.
That was
Bye,
cute.
bestie.